Hello, my beautiful rock stars. It's your girl Rocqi, your revolutionary hippie from Life is Rocqi. Welcome to my YouTube channel and another episode on Rocqi's Reflections. And for more of Rocqi's Reflections, definitely check out my Facebook blog, which is also called Life is Rocqi, but there's space between the words. For more of the reflections, I categorize my reflections on YouTube into different playlists depending on the topic, but sometimes none of it is related to that topic and I just want to reflect on some things. And this week is homecoming for Hampton University, and it happens to be my 10-year class reunion. Shout out to Onyx 9. So yes, very excited, and I just wanted to reflect on HBCUs and my journey and just have a moment of nostalgia and celebration. Okay. So first and foremost, I went to a majority white school for 8 years, from 5th grade up till graduation. Prior to that, I was in a very diverse community. We had pretty much every ethnicity there. And then I moved. And on the first day of 5th grade, when I looked around and saw that I was the only black person in my class, and then in lunch, when I realized I was the only black person in lunch, I was like, yep, going to HBCU. I don't even know how I knew about HBCUs at that time. It wasn't like my parents were talking about college, and I'm like, could it have just been like the representation in like the Cosby Show and A Different World and stuff like that? Like just seeing that HBCUs existed. I don't even know, because nobody like sat me down and talked to me about it, but I knew at that point I was going to one, so that manifested as well. Because when it came to me applying to college, I only applied to 2 schools, and at the time everyone was receiving their acceptance letters. I was like, what the hell was I thinking? I should have applied to more. What am I doing? But luckily I got into both. So I applied to Hampton University as well as Spelman College. I only wanted to go to a HBCU because I needed my culture back. I spent 8 years with white people. I needed to be with my people. I needed my blackness back. Now, sure, my parents were black. My church was black. My family was black. But spending 7 hours a day, 5 days out of the week for 8 years of your life does something to you. I know my parents were trying to have, physical and environmental safety, which once the racists left the high school, that was more of a possibility. So I didn't have to directly deal with that, because like we lived in a formerly KKK town. Like the Grand Master was there, y'all. So yeah. But anyways, like so much so family didn't want to come visit, so I needed to go back with my people. I needed to go back. And it was interesting because so 2 colleges. So yeah, I only was interested in going to HBCU. And I got accepted into both. The reason why I chose Hampton was it was the difference between majoring in broadcast journalism or majoring in English. Spelman had an amazing English department but didn't have the broadcast journalism, whereas Hampton had both broadcast journalism and English. And then Hampton was also co-ed, and I was trying to find a husband, y'all, and I did. My husband is also an alum of Hampton University. Shout out to HBCU love, shout out to Hampton love. Yes. So I only applied to those 2, got into both, and then decided on Hampton. And Hampton has a much more beautiful campus and a much more beautiful environment than Spelman. Sorry, no shade, but I was like, oh my gosh. Meanwhile, Hampton is on a peninsula, so it's surrounded by water. It's beautiful. Love it. My child is crying. We'll see. But yes, so I chose Hampton, and it was interesting because like after I made this choice, I worked in the front office of my high school, and apparently there was a news article at that time where there was the white Miss Hampton, and it was a huge controversy at the time because people on the outside thought it was because she was a white miss at a HBCU, whereas actually reading the article, it seemed like there was more discrepancy because she was at a satellite campus instead of the main campus. And then also she wrote a letter to President Barack Obama saying, we deal with similar things, when no, you don't. He's getting death threats. The heck? Like, nah. So my vice principal of my school put that article on my desk to be like, see, this is the school you're going to. They're racist. And I'm like, bruh, I spent 8 years with y'all people. I know what actual racism is. And the only thing I got out of that article was the homecoming lineup. That year they had Fabulous, Jeremiah, and LaToya Luckett. Meanwhile, I'm fighting for hip hop to be played at my school dances, and they over here playing Redneck Woman. Like, come on, step off. I'm going to a HBCU, okay? So then I get there. And I am surrounded by us in every facet of the word, okay? It's not only my dorm, my cafeteria, my classes, my professors, my homework assignments, my books. Like, it's just blackity, blackity, black, black, black. And I love it. I love it. I love that we could breathe. Like, the biggest resistance to attending at HBCU, people who don't, is like, how is it going to prepare you for the real world? Look, bruh, we are a minority in the United States. At HBCU is the one opportunity you have for 4 years to not be a minority, to be in a place where you are the majority, to be in a place where your race isn't constantly the topic of conversation and you can actually embrace your culture, where you can breathe and figure out, who else are you? What other identities do you have? You know? And like, as millennials started traveling abroad to Black and brown countries, we started experiencing that. Like, whoa, we are people of the global majority, okay? And like, my husband, he's first generation Guyanese, and we went to Guyana a few years ago. And like, being in a Black and brown country, know that, you know, we're going to have citizenship there, and my daughter gets to go there. Her grandparents are there. And the president and the first lady are brown people. And it's just like, to be in that environment where that's your everyday, it is a shift in just how you view the world, how you view yourself. And if the only opportunity you have at length of getting that outside of moving abroad is attending an HBCU, why the fuck not? And then me personally, after I graduated from my HBCU and then graduated from a PWI, I chose to surround my world in blackness, okay? So I moved to Oakland, California, 1. I chose to work at 2 Black practices, so majority Black colleagues, management, population we were serving, all of that. I had a Black landlord, Black roommates, Black doctor, Black eye doctor, Black therapist. Okay. Like, I had a Black bank. Like, we was blackly Black up in here. So this whole, it's not preparing you for the world. It prepared me for mine, because I was committed to pouring back into our community and uplifting our community. So it was actually perfect for me. And then again, I met my husband. So, and now we have created our own Black practice. So yeah, we doing it. But let's see. Oh, so another thing about HBCUs, since it's homecoming, is that that's family. Even if you grew distant from the people you actually like went to school with, that's still family at the end of the day, you know? And then what I didn't expect was the networking is a lot larger than people who go to the Ivy Leagues, because that networking is like, not only do I have my school, I have the whole HBCU network. If I find out somebody went to a HBCU, is an instant connection there. And that network is huge, because we are so needing to support each other and wanting and desiring to uplift our community. So that was one aspect that I didn't even like bank on, but definitely has come through and has been so full of love. And like, yeah, that's definitely family. So when I went to my PWI, I went there for grad school, and I interacted a lot with the Black undergrads, and they were like, This is just a place I'm getting my diploma. Whereas Hampton University is my home by the sea. That's home. That's family. Not a place I get a piece of paper. And you see that difference of like, there's no attachment here. There's no love, you know, there's no commitment to, like, yeah. So 10 years, Jesus. It's been a long time showing my age. But for my class, and you know, I would love for my children to attend HBCU. And also, like, everything about like the Greeks, the band culture, like seeing the diversity of Blackness was huge for me at a HBCU. I saw the regional differences of Blackness, whether that was our language, our dance, our fashion, our music. Like, it was incredible. Our food, like, it was incredible to witness the diversity of Blackness. And then that's just in the United States. Then you also had global. You had the Caribbean, you had Africans, and it was a beautiful display of diversity of Blackness. I loved it. And then, what was I gonna say next? I forgot. I got caught up in that. Before attending an HBCU, I was questioning what it meant to be a Black American. This was before the time we started actually using the term Black American. Because African American, I felt disconnected to. Because I was like, if you're born in Africa and moved to America, you're technically an African American once you gain citizenship in America. And I was like, and that's not my story. I don't have the culture of African, like current day Africans, you know, like that's not my culture. If I were to go there, I would be lost. It would be culture shock because that's not my culture, right? So attending an HBCU along with the hashtag growing up Black, it hit me when I was in Aruba, surrounded by DMV Blacks. I don't know why Blacks from the DMV were in Aruba, but we were at the Soul Beach Music Festival. And I was like, how I go to another country and I'm still surrounded by Americans? That's funny. But anyways, and they had Divine Nine strolling. And I was like, Divine Nine Greeks, Black Greeks, are strolling in a foreign country. This is Black American culture. And this is distinct from every other culture in the diaspora. This is because of HBCUs. This is because of what we made it. And I started to see the beauty of Black American culture, the distinctness of Black American culture, and the fact that Black American culture is global. Like, whether that's hip hop, yo, shout out to breakdancing that made it to the Olympics. Give it back to the Black people, okay? Woo! But yeah. So you know, hip hop, our movies, our artists, and then even, you know, our Greeks have international chapters. So it's very beautiful to see who we are as a people and to celebrate that, to represent that, but then also see the similarities with other people of the diaspora, and see how that African culture has maintained even through all that we've gone through. Like, I was attending some educational event and they were saying how the Bantu language still exists within Black American language. So Ebonics, or African American Vernacular English. So for example, TH comes from the Greeks. So that didn't exist in Bantu languages. So in the instance of that, we usually don't say that, TH. We say that with a D. Whereas at the end of a word, both, we usually don't say both with a TH. We usually say both with a F, because that's not a part of our language. Even though that's generations back from the point of we don't have knowledge of. And the fact that it's still maintained to this day is wild and amazing. So even though CPT, color people time, like, America has got us in this grind culture, but that's not natural to us. okay? And you can tell when it comes to a cookout, all right? Ain't nobody on time, okay? You got your showing up an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, depending on if you want to get a plate or if you want to help set up, but yeah, there's similarities to those of us in the diaspora, and to see them still maintain is beautiful, even though we have had so much forced assimilation, specifically in the United States, because we never got away from our colonizer. But anyways, so yeah, I'm very supportive of HBCUs. It's been very interesting, like throughout the Black Lives Matter movement, and seeing the influx of students to HBCUs because that's where they felt safe. It's also interesting to see HBCUs get more funding through the different presidencies. But yeah, I'm very proud to be a HBCU grad, a HBCU alum, a Hampton U alum. The fact that it's my 10-year class reunion this weekend, the fact that it's homecoming, and I'm just feeling all the love from my home by the sea, Hampton University, and my family. Because again, even if you didn't go to HU, the real HU, it's all love. And it empowers us and makes us believe in ourselves in a way that a PWI cannot. It can't. I wrote a poem called The Battlefield when I spent those 8 years at those white schools. And it was like, yeah, I didn't get to be myself. I had to be on the defense. And PWI wasn't any different. I went during the first wave of Black Lives Matter. And again, there was only 2 black students in my program out of like 27. So what prepares you for the real world is confidence in yourself, belief in yourself, knowledge that you can, that you are supported if you struggle. And the opportunities and network that is available to you by attending an HBCU is also much greater than if you were to attend a PWI. I'm just saying, who's actually looking out for you? But anyways, go to a HBCU homecoming, y'all. Even if you didn't attend, you'll be welcome home. And then also travel abroad. Black and brown countries, y'all. Something different. Something different. Let's see. So far, it's just been the Caribbean for me. I've been to Bermuda, Aruba, Guyana, Costa Rica, Mexico, Jamaica. Jamaica was amazing because I was not in the tourist area. I was like with the people. That was beautiful. It was beautiful. So yeah, definitely go to a black or brown country and get rejuvenated, y'all. It's something different when it's just us and we don't have to think about all the stuff we have to think about. And for 4 years at a HBCU, you get that break. So take it. And then, like they did in the 90s, just rep HBCUs all the time. Get that representation, all right? That normalization. That's, yes, we're going to support our own, okay? But all right. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you attended a HBCU, graduated? What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts if you were resistant to, if other people were resistant to you attending an HBCU? What would you say to students of the next generation considering an HBCU? And then give back and support. Alrighty. Light and love.